All right, new here at 11 o'clock, our great Tchaikovsky, a one-man play written and starring Hershey Felder, is making its Midwest debut at the Steppenwolf Theater.
And Roz Barron had the opportunity to talk with Felder about his unique play and his many other one-of-a-kind productions. And Roz is here right now with more. Hey, Roz.
What an incredible talent. Actor, writer, musician, and historian. It's been said that Hershey Felder is in a category all his own. And after spending some time with the man behind the character, I'd have to agree.
The moment I knew what music was, I began to compose.
Our great Tchaikovsky is the latest in a string of solo productions Hershey Felder has written, researched, and performed. When I met with him on the stage, he was warm, welcoming, and extremely down-to-earth. It's easy to see why Chicago audiences adore him.
Oh, but the American public, they asked for it again and again and again. Clearly, the American public has very good taste.
Now I'm coming home to Chicago because I've always considered this my theatrical home. It's in fact the city where I spent the most time on the stage of all the cities.
Felder was born in Montreal, but has spent most of his time in Europe and the U.S. He began playing piano at age 6. It took many years and a leap of faith to create his first solo musical biography.
I knew I was a storyteller. I knew that from the very beginning. I was a storyteller, I was a pianist, properly trained pianist, a composer, conductor, and I was theatrically minded and also theatrically trained, but they were two separate things. And I thought, what if you break that mold?
I went from being a little boy to a young man about town.
George Gershwin Alone was Felder's first solo play with music, opening to critical acclaim nearly 20 years ago. Since then, he's covered Chopin, Beethoven, Leonard Bernstein, Franz Liszt, Irving Berlin, and now Tchaikovsky. Months of research go into creating these productions.
I always thought that from the very beginning it was important to tell their real story. You have to look at the music for real. You can't pretend. You have to study it, you have to know, you have to make very careful choices. We decided early on that we were not going to use secondary sources, that it either had to be a first-hand observation or from the individual themselves.
On the set, you'll see reproductions of Tchaikovsky's letters, music, and other belongings, giving insight to both his brilliance and suffering.
You know, Tchaikovsky's human, too. He's terrified of being found out for his big secret, which, of course, is closeted homosexuality, and how much of that drove his music.
Felder will be performing Our Great Tchaikovsky through May 13th, but his national tour continues with Hershey Felder Beethoven and Hershey Felder as Irving Berlin. The consummate professional, he never skips a beat.
As one of the characters in the play says, you must work from morning until night. It's Russian accent. Morning until night, night until morning. This is the only life of the artist.
Over 5,000 performances, he hasn't missed one. And if that isn't enough, Hershey Felder is already working on his next solo program that's going to be on Impressionist composer Claude Debussy, scheduled to open about a year from now.
Wow.
Such talent.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful stuff. Thanks, Roz.
You bet.